Check it out, my friends. So it's bringing in all kinds of scaveners. Look at them. See them? Yeah, crows. And there was a hawk, a big one too. Let's see if I can find them on the others. I gotta show you what just happened last night. I mean, it happened a few days ago, but last night we had a full-on alarm from our dog about a possible intruder. But all there was, it was a deer carcass that has frozen into the freaking creek. Coyotes were here last night, munching on it. Look at that. Whoa. Yeah, there's crows here and everything. That obviously is driving my dog insane. But yeah, Mother Nature, you know, survival of the fittest. He got caught up on something, killed, and then basically got lost in the river, in the creek, died in the creek. So now coyotes are finishing him off, and the crows are helping out. Yeah, cool. Oh, check out the pond. Frozen, solid. Yeah. What's up, my friends? Welcome back to Bearski Method, my channel about the laws of nature. My name is Marek, everyone calls me Bear or Bearski, and if you are new here, welcome. You know, this is, as they call it, the Naturals channel. But here's a surprising twist to the story. I started this 4 years ago or so on the premise of basically keeping myself occupied with one of the most interesting hobbies, if you want to call it that, in the world, which is aquariums and fish keeping and such. I began with piranhas. I sort of circle back to the natural ways of creating a habitat, studying, researching, about their, let's just say, preferences and such, and end up with this, a collection of piranhas, which some of them I raised from just a 3/4 inch individuals, and then most were actually rescues, from people who have attempted keeping piranhas but were, let's just say, unsuccessful, and we ended up rescuing them here. So that's the sort of long story short as far as the aquatic adventures. I do have dogs and cats. They're all being fed raw, again, natural diet, sort of biologically appropriate diet, just like my fish. And well, let's just say the health, their condition, their health, whatever, their demeanor is exemplary, top notch. So there's a method to the madness, as they call it. However, what I wanted to say today to all my supporters, viewers, subscribers, and resubscribers, that I really appreciate you. Without you, this would have been nothing. Not many of you know, but I actually got hurt a few years back. I broke my back and paralyzed my leg, and I was unable to work. I'm still unable to work. I am disabled, but I just wanted to be productive. So I started doing something other than just, fixing the house, and this kind of took off, and it was a great opportunity to introduce a lot of you to the most natural, most abundant way of basically taking care of the animals or your companions, which is the natural way of resourcing, food and everything else out from the outdoors instead of the industrial pet care, as I call it, which is being heavily promoted on a lot of channels where they try to con you into buying equipment and buying this and buying the food and blah, 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 blah. And then, your choice. Again, all I'm doing is just simply trying to show you what's on my mind and show you the way I do it. And in over 40 years of keeping fish, I have yet to lose a fish to a parasite or some kind of infectious because of my natural methods of feeding, which is wild caught, straight from the creek, no acclimation sort of food. Anyway, more on that. There's a playlist. You can check it out and find out, the details of that method, of those works, as I call it. Yeah. Now, as far as the channel itself, and then you guys, again, without you, this would have been nothing. Literally just me fumbling around back here, down here, and that's it. But with your support, I was able to put together a monster tank. I don't know if you can see it back there. It's kind of gloomy in here, but it's a big tank. You know, it's a 1,200 gallon monster tank that I'm sort of working on still. The glass is supposed to be here any minute. It is a very expensive ordeal, not to mention the upkeep, maintenance, and everything else that will come with it. It's something that I really have to prepare for. I am not one of those to just jump in and then kind of, you know, bail or quit mid-run. So to really, you know, invest in something like that, not just time and effort and money, but obviously my heart, my feelings go into it as well. And I tell you, it's been dreadful to see it just sit there and waste away, collect dust. And I think that's all it's going to do ever, because it seems that YouTube hasn't learned a lesson yet from Twitter, and it's still heavily shadow banning all type of content, including mine. For whatever reason, people have resubscribed again and again and again, which bothers me because, as I said before, a lot of time and effort goes into it. I really appreciate you guys spending the time to watch it and or interact, and then find out that you're not even part of it no more because you've been you've been unsubscribed, I've been canceled, shadow banned, whatever you want to call it. Sad story. However, it is very exhausting, I suppose, to fight this negativity where we should be moving on forward, building giant tanks and rescuing more piranhas. Now we're contemplating how we're going to sustain what we already have, you know, which is a couple of tanks and very low views and virtually zero revenue. Wasn't the case for the last month. I gotta say, I had a major boost. One of my older videos, as I mentioned, got some promotions, whatever, and it resulted in almost 700,000 views in less than a week and a half. A little boost in cash, as you can imagine. But my question is, why did it wither down, back down to nothing? It just baffles me that I'm going through these peaks and valleys. Everybody else is coasting. Anyway, I guess my my sorrows, or I don't know, just my problem with it all is that it is occupying more and more time, and it yields less and less results, and it is definitely demoralizing. Not to mention, because of the algorithm, you know, we know Google owns YouTube. My company, my raw feeding company, which is basically providing food, raw food for my companions. One of them is sleeping right there. You know, it hasn't had the exposure that it needed. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of complications that arrived during the COVID-19 pandemic nonsense, and you know, I ended up sort of struggling with opening something up that was already, you know, sort of hard to drop on the masses. A lot of convincing at first. 3 years ago, to talk about raw was being shadow banned. You know, now you have dime a dozen companies basically following the simple rule of natural is best. So I just wanted to wrap it up. This episode is definitely not something you're gonna be rewatching, but I appreciate you guys for being here. I don't want you to think that, you know, it's all about the views. So yeah, it's been a struggle, I gotta tell you, from breaking my back to breaking my back again, working on this, and to simply getting shadow banned, canceled, whatever you want to call it. It is infuriating, but more than anything, it is obviously devastating to the progress of our channel. So I might not post as often, probably only like major updates if there will be any. If there won't be anything to watch, you've already seen it all. So again, I appreciate you, and hopefully see you on the next one sooner than later. Oh, we have a visitor. A huge coyote. It's like wolf size almost. Big male. Zula's been sitting here observing. All right, Zula. Down. This guy now. Yeah. That's coyotes eating some carcass that I was telling you about.